Hi, I'm Jilda, and today the topic is self-care. Is it overrated, and who has time for it anyways? With everything going on and the full schedule, it's really challenging just to get even a moment to yourself. And we're not talking about taking the entire day off to go get a massage or going and playing on the golf course all day. Not necessarily. I mean, maybe we could build up to that. But for now, it's just 10 to 15 minutes of you time, of me time. And I think it's a topic that's pretty overlooked and a lot of people just aren't doing it. And I was always curious as to why aren't people taking that time for themselves? Because simply put, how can someone serve others if they don't have their own oxygen mask on first, as they say in the airlines? Or really, if you're talking about your cup being full, if you're coming from a place where that is empty, you have nothing left to give. And it's, I think, not until people are on empty that they realize, wait a second, I'm exhausted, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed. And there's all these negative impacts to their relationships, to their work, to them comes out in their own health, and they're like forced to lay down because they're sick and they can't continue. And you don't want to get to that. I've been there, done that. So why is it that people don't take their self-care so seriously? And I would say for the clients that I have coached, and I do coach a lot of nonprofit professional leaders, and a lot of them, it's really all about the fact that our societal norms have really conditioned us to say, well, what does that really mean about you if you take a day off, or if you take a vacation even? I know it seems, at least in this nonprofit sector, that it's like a badge of honor if you work through and you're completely dedicated and you burn yourself into the ground. And I really want to change that. In fact, one particular client comes to mind where when we kind of were asking, well, why is it that she's not actually taking time for herself? It came down to the way she was brought up, like that, what that would mean about her. So if she took a day off, or if she took a vacation, would it mean she's lazy? Would it mean that she's not a contributing member of the team, or being productive, or that she doesn't care? So it's all these things. And I find that that's kind of the main underlying reason a lot of people are not taking action and just putting in a simple 10 to 15 minutes for themselves. And it could look as simple as doing a meditation, or journaling, or reading a favorite book, or, like I said, if you want to work up to it, maybe if it's like an hour, a bubble bath, or like lunch out with a good friend, or even calling a good friend. It can be something as simple as just taking that small walk, or playing with the dog or the kids for 15 minutes. So I find when you're putting it on your calendar and you make it a priority, it will happen. But think of it as an investment in you, because if you're not doing it, there's no one that's going to be able to do it for you. And I'd much rather you come from a full cup or partially full cup than it be totally empty and you end up in burnout. I do want to encourage you to try it out. Just experiment and see what happens if you just carve out a little bit of self-care and jot it down. See what happens when you don't do it, and how you're feeling, and the results of what that looks like on your work, relationships, etc. That might mean snipping or snapping at somebody if you're not doing that, versus if you do, and see what happens when you do and how you're feeling. And it'd be good to kind of compare, just give yourself some data to see, is this working, and do I want to keep doing that? So I would encourage you to do that and let me know how it goes. I would love to know. Also, just to let you know, some of my coaching clients did actually go ahead and implement self-care, and I want to share with you that they reported more increased feelings of exhilaration and accomplishment, less stress, kind of like they were ready to tackle the next project, renewed energy levels, and really higher levels of contentment as well as focus. Which reminds me, if you haven't had a chance yet, I did create a free guide on how to focus on your priorities. It's a little bit more in depth. It's more of a workbook to work through, but if it would be useful In the link below is a way to get a copy for yourself. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and like it if it's helpful. And if there are any other topics you want me to cover, welcome to hearing about it in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.